Chris, how's practice today?
It's pretty good. We had a good day. Not where we quite want to be structurally, but we feel like we had a pretty good day.
How's camp going overall? I think you guys are about a weekend now.
It's going pretty good. Coach talks about stacking days, so I feel like we've just been trying to stack days and put more and more together and make sure that we're straight at the end of the season or in the fall camp.
We've been waiting to ask you about this, but you have the first kickoff return touchdown in program history under your belt. How do you look back on that moment? What was that like for you?
It's a blessing in disguise, really, because I was in a deep, dark place. Right prior before that, I had called Coach Traylor he was on vacation, and I had been dealing with depression and stuff like that for the longest, and I feel like I just needed to talk to somebody, and Coach Traylor was my person. I had to talk to somebody. So looking back at it and seeing where I came from, it's a blessing.
What's the process been like of trying to manage that and get through some of those things?
Just try to take it a step at a time, day at a time. Don't try to put too much on myself and think too far in the future.
Is that stuff kind of hard to talk about?
No, not really, just because I pulled myself out of that place, and some people are going through the same thing that I've gone through. So it's like easy for me to talk to people that go through the same thing as me.
What was the biggest key for you to feel like you could pull yourself out of that place that you were in?
I have a son, so I mean, I literally do everything for him. So it's like, if I leave school, get kicked out of school, then what do? I get sent back to Jacksonville and start working at 9 to 5. So it's like, okay, this is my way to provide for me and my son. So,
what were some of the big things that were maybe hanging on you, or made you the adversities that you faced that kind of put you in that position where you felt that way?
I was struggling academically, and I'm gonna let you know now I am lazy whenever it comes to school. So that's part of the main reason. But I mean, I feel like I knew I could do it. This is the most part.
How have you sort of addressed that academic part of things? Has it been a lot of progress on your end?
Yes, it has. I'm taking more hours, staying after practice, and just working with my academic coordinators. It's been a lot helpful.
What about on the football field? How would you say you did last season?
I feel like I did pretty decent. I wasn't where I wanted to be, but I mean, I feel like I took over the special teams job as I was supposed to. But now that, I have a role to fill now, so I'm ready for it. I'm prepared.
Is it different going into fall camp, maybe being in a different headspace? Do you get more out of this time compared to a year ago?
No, I'm straight. I'm good. Smooth as a cucumber, man.
Well, I just know you said last year might not have always been that way. Are you having like a different kind of approach this time? Is it more productive, or do you get more out of it?
No, I feel like I'm just more confident going into this year.
What was it initially that led you to transfer to UTSA?
I feel like I had a relationship with Coach Traylor. Believe it or not, I was in high school. I was a sophomore, and he was still coaching at Arkansas, and he had came to my school to visit, and he wanted me to, and I was committed to Colorado at the time. He tried to get me to come or take a visit, and I was like, no, I'm stick with Colorado just because that was my first couple offers, and I wanted to see how it was. And things weren't working out for me. I got homesick, stuff like that, and Coach Traylor talks about relationships all the time, and I remembered that I had a great relationship with Coach Traylor, and he coached my position coach whenever he was in high school too, so it was like, okay, that could be my way out, so I'm glad I did.
Was there something in particular that drew you to Colorado initially?
It's beautiful out there, man. Like, if you've ever been to Boulder, Colorado, the scenery, the people out there, it's amazing.
What'd you get out of your time there?
Friends, relationships. I met a lot of cool people out there, and so relationships, really.
Well, was there anything that sort of turned that made you decide you might want to look somewhere else, or when did you start to have that conversation?
I just felt like I wasn't utilized, like I felt like I wasn't needed, and so I wanted to find somewhere where I could be used and put my talents to use.
Chris, you came on, kind of increased production last season as the season went on. What do you attribute that to?
What do I attribute it to?
Yeah. What led to like more increased production for me?
Just my morals and what I hold for myself, really.
What's it been like kind of getting to know the program's culture here? They talk a lot about the different culture pillars and mantras that the team lives by.
It's been amazing since I've transferred. Whenever I first got here, I didn't really understand, and I was trying to wrap my head around the culture that had here coming off the season previously. And for the longest, I just couldn't understand until I just started listening to the words that Coach Traylor puts us in every day. Like, he pours into us. It's real.
Is there anything in particular, like one of the pillars or a certain mantra that sort of resonated with you, or that you kind of think about a lot?
Integrity. Because he talked about integrity the other day, and I had been asked to talk into my position group about integrity. And one of the definitions was morals. It talked about morals. And that really sat with me just because my whole life I carried myself with morals just because other people around me, I didn't want to be like a follower. I want to be my own leader and lead by example.
What's it like for you trying to carve out a role at receiver here? How do you see where you kind of fit in that room and what the offense might do this year?
I just keep working. I feel like I'm getting pretty adjusted, and I'm trying to get up there with Cephas and JT, my bad, John Thomas. You guys call him John Thomas, but yeah, I'm trying to fit in with them and
Do you have any particular goals for this year?
just start. Yes, sir, that's it.
How good do you think this team could be this year?
I feel like we're better than last year, honestly, and with the receiving core that we have, and everybody came back. So I feel like we're set.
There's a lot of young talent in that wide receiver room.
It is.
How do those guys look this?
Jace Wilson is coming on a lot from compared to where he was last year, and then we got David Almador. He's come along. He came in the summer. Got Devin McEwen. He came from my high school. Whenever I was a senior, he was a freshman. So it's good watching him came from where he's from, and take strides he's been doing.
What's it like being? That's kind of a small town, right?
Yeah.
To come from that environment to here,
Mhm.
play Division I football. What's that journey like?
It's amazing. Going to Colorado straight out of Jacksonville, it was something new for me.
Like a shock, right?
Yeah. It was being 13 hours away from home. I'm used to coming home after school every day, so I'm going back to a dorm in Boulder, Colorado. But coming here, I have family down here, so it wasn't really new to me. So.
What was your reaction to Zakari leaving? Obviously, it's a loss for the program, but it's potentially more opportunity for you.
I wish the best for Zakari. He's taught me a lot whenever he was here. I wish him the absolute best. But, like Coach Taylor says, whenever someone's gone, it's time to step up. So.
Cool. Thank you, Chris.
Appreciate it, Chris.